Factorio.
Factorio.
All right.
Let's see. I was dreaming about this the other night that, like, I found a mod and installed it and it changed the recipe for, I think, steel plates to involve acid or something. Or, I guess, what are they actually called? I just call it, okay, it is steel plates. Huh. It looked like beams to me, but it required, like, acid for steel and it just destroyed our entire setup and we had to have, like, a long, serious conversation about how the heck we were going to get this working.
And you had a dream about this.
I dream about Factorio more than most things. Like, I barely dream, but I had the weird Stephen Colbert dream where I was trying to teach him how to play Factorio. I had us screwing up the steel industry dream. I had a couple more where I was designing factories, like, before we started this series, and that was a separate thing. It's just, you know, usually I don't need a whole lot of introspection after the fact. Whenever I stream, I'm just like, yeah, that was a fun day. I don't need to think about this more. And my brain is always just like, Factorio? This is real shit. You got to think about this.
That's crazy, actually. That's crazy. Dreaming about Factorio. It gets into your psyche. It really does. Like, it's... Oh boy, it's something. It's something. Anyway, speak to me about our plans. What do we got? What do we want to do? What do you think we should be doing?
Let's see. Well, I don't know. So I'm probably going to be a little focused on Tiberium separation.
Okay.
Just because I think that's the only way that we're going to get oil anytime soon. Because I'm not going to make a giant land bridge out to a single crude oil yield node.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ocean south of us. Like, that just does not seem practical.
Okay.
In the slightest. Let's see. Well, here. How far are we from ovens? That's the other question.
You like ovens. Oh, what's this? So this is Tiberium Science Pack and Tiberian Mechanical Properties? Tiberian Separation. Tiberian Centrifuge.
Yeah.
Dude, this looks legit. And then what? Tiberium Processing? Green Tiberium, water, and then that's how you get the crude oil from the slurry. Okay, that's cool. I see that. I see that pathway. That's unique. That's interesting. I like that. Very, very cool indeed. I mean, there's a central bus to be worked on. That's what I could do. I can also start to work on like an electric lab sort of area, automating green science packs. That's something else that I can do. I still need to finish off the copper furnace area. There's a lot for me to be getting on with. It's literally just, you know, what do you think the priority is at this moment in time?
You know what? Everything.
Everything?
That's just always it with Factorio. Yeah, you can just find a billion tasks and they're all more or less equal in terms of their requirements.
Yeah.
I think getting the main bus set up was probably the best, just so we stop having all of our industries intertwined as they are. Easier to have them kind of in this nice sequence instead.
Yeah. I would tend to agree with you on that one, to be honest. I'll try and get that done. I'll also see if I can try and get steel processing done, as I don't think that we have any steel processing after I removed our little temporary area. Okay. There we go.
Oh shoot! Do I have to get Tiberium Science Pack for this next section? Yep, I do. All right.
How do you
That's
make
my plan.
How do you make a Tiberium Science Pack?
Let's see. Whoops. I have way too many of these. Let's see. So, we want to get green Tiberium. Put in some mining boys. Okay. So, Tiberium Science Pack is by processing... It's Tiberium into a factory, which is then brought into a separate factory. Like, you turn the Tiberium into data. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry. I just realized, you know that tiny little moat that I put down?
Yeah?
That is actually enough to make the mining drones take this very long way around. They cannot cross the gap. So I think we're good. My little Tiberium moat is actually functional. I'm just going to have to figure out some kind of Oh wait, no, I can just. I wonder if I can use an underground belt for this.
Oh, that's sneaky. That feels.
Yep.
That feels sneaky.
Okay, underground belt will skip the moat. Perfect. Let's see. I forget. Oh right, I was describing how Tiberium works.
Tiberium.
Ultimately, I actually have no idea how it really works because on my solo run, I more or less is just like, this looks complicated. I'll come back to this later, and then I just haven't yet.
I mean,
and I'm almost done on my solo run, so it's like, all right.
That's I guess that's kind of the good thing about having, you know, two people play, is that you can afford to have like one person faff around on something that, you know, is not understood for a while and still make progress elsewhere in the base. It's quite positive actually.
Whenever I play solo Factorio, I very much play to my strengths, and I might mess around a little bit, but I definitely don't get like too deep into new tech. Or like a bunch of new tech. So, for example, I've never actually learned nuclear power. I think this would be the run for me to finally put some time and effort into that, because I think that would actually be quite valuable for me.
Yeah, nuclear power is cool. I don't think I've ever played with nuclear power as well. I played with nuclear power when it was like a mod ages and ages and ages ago, but I don't think I ever played with real nuclear power, or as real as it gets anyway.
Yeah, I love that about this game, that so many of these really cool features really just were mods.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
It's crazy, isn't it?
There's not a whole lot of games that take that route, where they just take all of the mods and slowly make them official.
I mean, the great thing about this game is that when it turns from mod into reality, the stability increases dramatically, because I mean, this is like one of the best performing, most stable games of all time. I mean, for goodness sake, I mean, we're here playing it, and it's only just left early access, which is insane to consider, right? What am I doing? What am I doing? Potato, what are you doing? All right.
Now, there's a question. Do you, seeing as you've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, give or take, do you actually refer to yourself in your head as Potato?
See, I have to. I do it as like a reminder to myself. I do it as a reminder to myself to not call myself my real name, because it's gonna be so. I feel like I frequently chastise myself in real life, and therefore it's gonna be fairly easy to slip into the habit of chastising myself in game as well if I'm not like super careful and like remind myself from time to time. Then I need to call myself Potato, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
What about you?
It's to the point where Shell, my channel partner, fiance, she will call me Wander more than she will call me by my real name.
Really?
Yeah. It's.
And how do you feel about
You know, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah?
My first name is Carl, which I have complicated feelings about, because I don't know if you've ever seen Llamas with Hats or Jimmy Neutron or stuff, but my first name has always been the butt end of many jokes on the internet and in popular media. And so I've always been slightly resentful of it. Not in a way like, why did my parents name me this, but it's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
And so having a name that I chose for myself that I get called instead is actually almost kind of liberating. Wow. Liberating, because, you know, then it's just actually all me.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get it. You're in control of your own destiny. I see how it is. I see how it is. That's really interesting. I don't know. I feel like I'm fortunate. I've never really had that issue. I guess it's more practical purposes that force me to remind myself who I am, so to speak. But there we go. All right. Okay, that is copper up and running now. So that should be grand. How many belts of iron? How many belts of copper? How many belts of?
I usually
everything?
do. I would say 4 belts maximum. I have 5 in my solo playthrough, and it feels like one too many.
Okay.
But so just 5 iron belts right next to each other.
Yeah.
That's easy to balance, and I specifically have like an old balancer build that's still pretty useful.
Okay. So 5 belts of iron. How many copper, etc.?
I mean, probably let's just do 4 belts of iron, just 4 of copper,
4
and
belts of iron,
then probably 2 steel.
2 steel. Okay.
I'm curious how much we're going to need, because from my perspective, I haven't needed nearly that level of resources on my solo run, but with 2 people, we might actually have a greater need because our pull's going to be larger.
Yeah. It could be a bit of a problem, actually. I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking. I'm just sort of thinking, like, maybe honestly, I mean, we've got 5 or just about 5 belts worth of iron here. I wonder if maybe we just call it an even 5, given that that's our capacity at this moment in time. Although it's actually more like it's more like 4, but whatever. Well, it's almost 5. That's very
The easy
random.
way to do it is just balance it as needed, and then think about the rest later.
Exactly. I think that's a good plan. It's a very good plan. Okay. How's the Tiberium going?
Well, I've got the basics set up. My big issue always with Tiberium is I'm just not sure how practical this is. But if we're lucky, this is going to get us a whole bunch of extra resources that I'm going to have to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with it all.
Yeah. So I mean, so the slurry gives you what? It gives you
everything. Iron, copper, coal, and stone.
Okay.
But then, yeah, because there's Tiberium ore separation, and then there's the other one that gives me sludge, which sludge just gets turned into stone brick if I want to do it. But then there's like the greater version that is just full on molten processing, which gets us crude oil out of molten Tiberium, which we need.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a while before we get there. Oh, is our lab system? Oh wait, no. I know why this is happening.
We have no lab system at the moment. It's very, very basic.
The other thing is we actually need Tiberium to research this.
Yes. What's a Tiberium research pack, actually, just out of curiosity?
I'm just I've got a fabricator down here, just going on it. Just need to actually work on it. Once you get the labs back up and running, I'll have a bunch that we can work with. Gosh.
Oh, goodness gracious
I need to scale production hard on this.
That's looking good, though.
I know what I'm doing today.
Is there any way to touch it without immediately dying? Like, is that an upgrade that we can get? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It doesn't immediately kill you. It just kills you pretty quick.
Depends how much you have on your person, I think, doesn't it? Because I mean, you saved my life the other day.
Oh, one way, if you have it in your hands, not your inventory, then it's considerably less deadly.
Okay.
There we go. So I can hold a stack of 50 just in the mouse cursor, and I will not take damage. So that's one way to move it around at least.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something to note. And I guess like mining with the drones, that's completely above board.
The drones are totally safe, and eventually we get the ability to make a force field that prevents it from spreading further.
Okay. I mean, I'm always interested in force fields.
I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm hoping that the water is sufficient, because if so, that's great. But I will probably surround the...
To stop the spread, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so... Okay, almost got the bus in working order. Which is looking and feeling good. I mean, after we get the bus in working order, what should our first priority be? I guess science, right? Red, just move red science and get green science set up as well.
Probably. I was gonna say, big priority might be worth going for is just mass fabricating some of the basic components, namely electronic circuits.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Because if we can just have electronic circuits sitting around as something we can pull from, that'll save us some time. Looks like we can convert stone into stone tablets, which can be used for... Interesting. Yeah. Instead of using the old iron plates, electronic circuits require stone now. I'm actually kind of okay with that. The motors are maybe going to be a bit of an issue.
I mean, I think we probably have enough stone mining capability at this point. Just a suspicion.
Yeah, it's just the change of pace of how circuits work with this mod pack is... I'm a little taken aback when I see it. And it's like, oh, this is different. This is new.
Positive, yeah. It's definitely... I mean, anything that uses more basic resources to make complex stuff, thumbs up for me. Also, what do we want to do with this ship here? I know that we said that we were going to leave it. It's kind of a cool
I usually
centerpiece.
just leave it there as the mascot to my base. I guess in my mind, on my solo run, if that thing gets destroyed, I somehow lose for whatever reason.
Okay.
I think I've just been playing too much Orcs Must Die.
Hit me
just
with
having. Okay.
Hit me with your thoughts on Orcs Must Die. What do you think?
It is a series that I feel like if it got just a little bit more TLC, it would be amazing. Every time I play it, it's like comfort food more than truly something good. But I enjoy playing it so much that it doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
I think it suffers from the same problem that a lot of any tower defense game suffers from, which is just the genre hasn't been iterated on much since like Warcraft 3, and I would love to see somebody roll in and like really come up with something new. And I feel like if somebody did, it would actually kind of make the genre interesting again. But as far as like a game that I just play for like an hour here and there, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. What other games have been taking your fancy recently?
Ooh. Well, I mean, I started playing Wasteland 3 last night. I don't know if you're much of a CRPG fan.
I'm not really. I've seen a lot of people playing Wasteland, and it doesn't strike me as a game that I would be particularly interested in, although I appreciate.
Yeah. I just
appreciate that.
I grew up with Baldur's Gate, and so playing any game in that exact genre has always felt kind of fun for me. I'm gonna tear up your old Red Science Factory because I think it's just.
It's. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move it, if that's all right.
Okay.
That's planning to be removed. That's definitely all. It's just temporarily there.
Okay, you just want to keep the blueprint.
I just want to keep the blueprint. I also just want to like keep it producing red science until I rip it up, which will be in about 5 minutes once I fix the copper line here, if that's all right.
Oh, is it actually producing at this point?
It is.
Yeah, it is still producing. Oh, it looked totally dead to me. I guess that's what I get for making assumptions.
Well, you know what happens when you assume. No, okay, just no. That's what.
Now that I'm thinking about tower defenses, by the way, Creeper World is probably the first tower defense that got me excited about tower defenses.
It's great.
In recent memory.
Really, really exceptionally good game.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I was blown away. I originally passed on it because it looked kind of ugly.
Jank
and
as
it still
heck.
Does.
Yeah, looks awful.
My God, stop throwing away all of your deconstruction planners.
I've got 5 more in my inventory.
Slob.
I've got 5 more in my inventory. I don't know how to get rid of them.
I
don't know how to get rid of them.
Right-click and delete. Right-click and there's a little trash can button.
Oh, I literally. Oh, this is truly. All right, there we go. All right, sorted.
There you go.
I just deleted
excuses.
4 of them right there. Goodness gracious me. Oh boy. But yeah, no, Creeper World is an exceptional game. Like, it looks super simple, but there's a intense level of strategic depth.
I almost wonder if he hired, like, a team of decent artists to reskin his games, if they wouldn't do, like, phenomenally better.
Well, like, that's kind of what they're doing with Dwarf Fortress, aren't they? They're reskinning it to sell it on Steam, if I'm not mistaken. And that'll be an event, I think.
I'm looking forward to it. Dwarf Fortress is one of those games that I've actually played extensively before I did YouTube. And it's like, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm afraid that I'm just gonna find myself wishing I was playing RimWorld instead. Yeah. Not necessarily because RimWorld is better, but it's just easier to control at this point. Oh, that said, one thing I've actually wanted to do with the Wholesomeverse is a RimWorld like round robin. I've seen some other people do it before, and I think it would be kind of fun to pass the save file around. Doing that with Dwarf Fortress would be magic. Because it would be really more of a question of who screws it up so bad that we can't recover from it no matter what.
I mean, probably me. Almost certainly me.
I think every single person involved would volunteer themselves as the one to ultimately doom the clan.
I know, but I feel like I would just end up taking unnecessary risks. If we had characters in the game, like, named after the Wholesomeverse members, I would just constantly send, like, Alexa out on missions, like, self-sacrificing himself. I mean, it would almost certainly lead to a total colony collapse. That's what I suspect, anyway.
Just, every time Alexa dies, you just make a new one. Just add, like, a Roman numeral to the end.
Exactly. Exactly that. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Look at the size of this. This is looking gnarly. Okay. I want this. What's it called? Red Science.
One death for every HR complaint.
He's still dying to this day.
Poor guy thought getting a real job would save him.
It's hilarious, actually. I don't know how much I can talk about this. I probably shouldn't say too much about this, but I was playing a game called Hex with Alexa on the channel at the moment, and it's about I mean the premise is that you basically play as like a hacker team, and you need to hack into like banks all across the world.
I know that's very much like his business.
It's very much his business. Like very, very much his business. So he's a pro. He's a pro. He's not a pro hacker, I should point out. Well, maybe he is.
I went to school with a lot of people exactly like him. Mainly because we went to the same school, actually. But
really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I had no idea until I looked at like the graduation list, and his name was just there.
Tyler Alexa Kid. 69. Yeah? Wow.
You're like, you joke, but yeah.
It actually said Tyler Alexa Kid 69 on the graduation thing.
You know, for a guy that is in cybersecurity, he didn't do a very good job of hiding his name.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's mental, actually. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was just down the list. Because I look every year, because I still know people that go to that school.
Yeah.
Because of the student organizations I was in. And so it's kind of fun to like see, like, hey, they finally graduated. Because I was in with like a lot of people that were almost perpetual students that would be there for like 8 years.
Oh, I know.
And so I think all of them have graduated at this point. But the couple that haven't. But yeah, it was just Tyler Alexa right there, and I'm like, oh shit.
What
All right.
What's the chance of that, dude? Two of the Wholesomeverse went to the same school?
So that's kind of been my life story whenever it came to this college specifically, because like my roommate freshman year lived down the street from me when I lived in California before I moved away. I had no idea until like one day we were just like, wait a second, that's a picture of you at my favorite restaurant. How?
It's a small world. You know what they say.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
You know, Disney got in on the ground floor on that one.
I had a sneaking suspicion when he said he lived in Ohio when he went to college. I don't know how much I want to talk about this, but I was like, I bet he's one of those guys, because for whatever reason my college got like 1 billion people from Ohio. And so we would often just kind of joke that like the first most common person to go to the school is, you know, somebody from the local area. The second most common is just anyone from Ohio.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just confirming the stereotype.
I know. It's actually very unfortunate. It's actually very unfortunate that you are now associated with Alexa professionally. That's disaster, actually.
I am pretty separate out from anything he was probably involved in. But it does amuse me, that commonality.
I can't get over that. That's actually kind of crazy. I mean, that is absolutely bonkers.
That's why I bring it up every once in a while. I'm just like, I have to remind myself that that actually did happen.
That is a real thing.
Yeah.
That's bonkers. That's bonkers. I love it, though. I love it. It's, you know, it's always fun. Always fun to find these little connections in the world.
By the way, with the main bus, you want to leave 4 spaces between each disparate type of resources.
Okay.
What? Oh. Dang it. I might have to redo the Tiberium mining so it stops giving me warnings that they're taking damage.
Oh.
The reason why you want the spaces between the main bus is so you can have underground belts and splitters.
Okay.
To, like, cross the sides. Otherwise, it gets real messy real fast.
I mean, when I did it previously, I just mess. I just messy it. But yeah, I mean, I can move it over. That's not a problem at all. Happy to do that.
I'll just split it up. Unfortunately, my inventory is super full because, yeah.
You stole a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted. My drones delivered to you, I think. Irritating.
By the way, when putting stuff down, you can actually just hold shift, and you'll put down a ghost blueprint, and you can rob me of the resources.
Really?
That yeah.
Oh, this is joyous news. This is joyous news. I like this a lot. Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. Need to grab. Where did it go? You stole my pump jack as well, didn't you? Gosh darn it.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Would you mind awfully placing that down somewhere?
Yep.
Thank you.
It's in your inventory.
That's freaky, but very much appreciated.
From afar, just hurl a whole pump jack into your pocket.
Well, it's a, pocket pump jack. You know what they say.
I don't.
I know.
Who would be talking about this mystical device?
Pocket pump jack.
Because I'm pretty sure I could find some investors.
I feel like this would be quite a handy tool in reality, you know?
Yeah.
A real handy tool. Okay. Let's clean this up.
Wait, what the? Well, this is dumb. I told my I told my robots to deconstruct a series of belts. Your bots come over. You tell your bots to deconstruct whatever the science lineup. My bots come over. I feel like we don't necessarily have boundary problems that our bots just really want us to share. Also, these phantom pumps are still here.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? I guess here. Can I? Does that delete them? Nope.
No.
Well, I guess they're just going to be there forever. Whoops.
There's no way to like re-water. Can you re-water? Can we re-water it and then maybe Try extracting. Did I not try? I think I might have tried this last time, actually.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave them there, and they'll just exist.
Okay. I mean, can we power them?
Uh,
Oh, yeah, we can at least stop the flashing. There you go.
Wait, question. Do they output water?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, they do. They do.
There's no structure there. Wait, hold up.
Yeah, they actually straight up do.
Oh, but I can't deconstruct it. Wow, that's weird. Well, that's it. Wait. We can use that.
Yeah, I mean, we
for
can.
steam factories. Like, okay, here. Put a bunch of water next to your lab setup.
Okay.
That might be kind of close to the bus, by the way.
That's okay.
Like, you might want to pull them back, because that's get real close.
All right.
But yeah, just have a bunch of phantom water pumps right next to these steam factories, and then delete them. It'll keep the phantom around, which still outputs water, which feeds into the steam assembly machines, but no longer takes up space. So you can put inserter arms there.
From a Mimi perspective, that sounds brilliant. From a practical perspective, is that a good idea? If suddenly when the game reloads one day, half of or all of them are, all of the phantom pumps just disappear.
By that point, we'll probably have the better assembly machines anyway, so who cares? But also, we're gonna have the better assembly machines soon, so still, who cares?
So you want to do phantom pumps?
We don't have to. I'm just saying, like,
okay.
It'd be funny.
It would be funny. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
There, I'll lay down the bus. So we're gonna want one for
steel,
copper, iron, steel,
circuits,
probably circuits.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have two on the north for like probably stone bricks and red circuits, maybe.
I mean, we can always add more in later. Excellent.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
It's just the more we mess around, or like the less room we give ourselves, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah, better to future-proof it. I agree. Wait, hold up. Is this? Did you mean to make this three wide?
Yeah, I was gonna do 3 wide with steel.
Okay.
I don't actually know how much steel we're gonna be using here.
Let's go for a 4th one just to be on the safe side, right?
Sure.
There we go. I feel like what the heck. Okay.
Oh, plastic. Plastic would be, yeah.
Should go with 10. Plastic as well. That's a good shout. That's a real good shout.
Yeah. I will admit, usually with plastic, by the time I have plastic, I just start using drones to bring stuff around.
I mean, I guess everything sort of falls apart. As long as you get, like, the basic...
Yeah.
Like, basic stuff, right? It's kind of just... It'll all work itself out. Even if it's not, like, 100% efficient. Usually you're building so much stuff anyway that it's,
yeah,
it's all
after
fine.
a certain point, efficiency goes out the window. Well, yeah, and then I started breaking the laws of physics, and then it really doesn't matter.
Exactly. I mean, physics doesn't matter at the best of times anyway, so.
Okay.
Right. Cool. So I think.
You said last time we were playing that you were a recovering Dota addict. What got you into it, and how'd you get out?
Oh, okay, funny thing, actually. What got me into it was my determination to get into it. Because I just kept on telling myself I had to get into it. I just kept on telling myself that I had to get into it no matter what. And eventually, I just got over the massive learning hurdle. Because it is like a huge wall to climb in order to like learn what all the heroes do and all the spells and stuff. But eventually, once I figured it out, it was great fun, and it's a great game. And I had a couple of friends that I played with on a fairly regular basis, and that was me hooked for like I don't know, a good couple of years. I've got like, what, 2,000 hours, which is actually like nothing when you think about it, but
yeah,
it's quite a lot in the context of, you know, a life.
I like mentally did kind of the like, whew, that's a lot, and then I thought about how much I played World of Warcraft in high school. It's like, no,
Exactly.
that's not a lot.
Exactly. But like it was, yeah, it's too much for me.
It is wild to think now that I've started playing games professionally, like anything longer than 10 hours is too much.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was a kid playing games, it's like, yeah, I could sink hundreds of hours into a game, no problem, not even bat an eye.
It's funny that how our tolerance of playing games for a long time changes. Because, boy, I mean, I look back at 2,000 hours and I'm like, wow, what else could I have done in those 2,000 hours?
I could have done so many things with myself, learned so many skills. Yeah.
You know, there's like the Malcolm Gladwell rule of thumb, like it takes 10,000 hours in order to like master a skill. You know, whilst that is like kind of complete nonsense. Also, if you just use that as a ballpark, you're like a fifth of a way to learning or mastering a skill. And
you know, even after 2,000 hours, you'd be pretty dang competent at a lot of things.
Exactly.
My belts.
You just steal everything. That's all right.
I was just kind of in the area to see what's going on because I think I'm just waiting for science to happen.
Well, I tell you what, if you wanted to, you could bring the copper down for these machines here.
Sure.
Or alternatively, you could. Well, actually, you'll have to plonk me down.
I have a lot of things that I could do. Now I'm thinking about it, but
could you plonk down the pump, please? Your robots keep stealing it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
It's okay. Here, I will. I'm gonna go on the north side. Stay away for a bit. I'm actually gonna work on circuits.
Go for it.
Because that seems very worth my time.
Agreed. Cool. I guess I'll just use an electric. How do you feel about electric boilers being used? I think that they're less efficient, but also probably totally adequate for our needs off-grid, so to speak.
Electric boiler? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you okay with that?
Yeah, because just piping the fuel around is a giant pain in the ass. I think that's actually what the electric boilers are supposed to be used for. Because they're very clearly not built for power.
Yeah, because I was way to say it. Like, I don't really want a central bus line with, like, coal. That seems nonsense.
Yeah. We will need to bust some coal in, I believe, for plastic, but...
we can do that.
Actually, in retrospect, all of our oil is going to be coming off of the Tiberium. So... in retrospect... Ooh. Give me a second. I have to redo. I'm gonna give us. No. We'll be fine. Let's see. Yeah, in retrospect, all of our oil is going to be coming off of the Tiberium line, which is going to be outputting coal itself. So I think I might just handle the plastic much more locally than I normally would.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing that we need to consider, right? Is that not everything needs to be bussed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's optimal to do that, but, like, doesn't have to be the case. Okay.
So, weird question.
Hit me.
Have you been getting a lot of issues with, like, porn bots and YouTube comments lately?
Yes, very, very much so. Like, literally every video, and they've been getting smarter, too.
Yep.
Have you noticed this?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was curious about this a little bit because I've just been having not the worst time of it trying to manage and deal with them, but it's very much like I will wake up every morning and it is now my ritual to spot the porn bot and ban them or report spam, because I know eventually YouTube wises up and they can manage it, but there's a lag time of maybe a couple weeks before they do, and it's always just like, please, for the love of everything, solve this sooner so I don't have to see this.
Could you explain to me how they are actually able to like how they're actually able to do what they do? So what do they actually do?
Whenever I ask, they're kind of mum about it. But one of my roommates in college actually works doing machine learning, not for YouTube, just for Google in general. And so I bugged him about it once, just because it's like, yeah, how does this work? And the answer is just like, they're just throwing information at robots, and the robot eventually gets it.
It's weird. It's just weird. The whole thing is just... It's just weird.
Yep.
It's so... weird.
I'm sure an actual computer scientist could give you a better answer, but... Unfortunately, at max, I ever learned... the most amount of programming I ever learned was ActionScript, which is... I mean... not actually a terrible language. I know people like to make fun of it as like bad, but for like an entry-level language, it's pretty good.
What is ActionScript? I must confess I've never heard of it.
Okay. ActionScript was used to make Flash games. So almost if you ever played any Flash game ever, it was made in Flash and programmed in ActionScript.
I didn't know that. That's good to know. That is very good to know.
But unfortunately, it's a completely dead language because Adobe killed it. I think it was originally pioneered by Macromedia, and they kept it going for a little while, and then eventually were like, "Yeah, we don't want to support Flash anymore." And I think it had like security issues and all sorts of things.
Yeah, is Flash dead, or is it still dying?
I think it's very soon to be dead.
Okay.
Almost dead. Within the next, 2 years, if not this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's been on the decline for a while now, hasn't it? But there's so much that's still Flash based. I wonder what's going to happen to the internet. It's going to be very interesting, actually.
I know there's a lot of companies and websites that are still using it, and I'm a little worried that we're gonna see some kind of giant mess. But I'm not that worried.
Yeah,
do we know how to make... I think the main issue is we're gonna lose some sites that were still reliant on Flash, but most of them probably should have modernized years ago, so whoever actually gets wrecked as a result of it, they probably should have known better.
It's their own fault. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Can I be really, really rude here? And can I perhaps do long-reach inserters before we do any of this other stuff? Because it's only red automation science. Thank you.
Okay. So we can't yet. Do you see the little inserter at the top?
Yes.
Top left?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you click on that and then do enable inserter configuration mode, it'll show that we only have the basic sizing. There is an upgrade that we can get. Here we go. Long inserters.
Yeah. I think that's what we need. Oh no. Don't do that. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. Where do you want our lab area to be? It's your call. Where do you want it?
So, lab can kind of be anywhere. I would say put it just south. Just keep going south to the kind of bottom end of that lake. We're gonna be piping in the science from everywhere, so there's no specific reason why it needs to be close.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I just wondered if you had a specific preference per se.
Nope. And to some degree, I'm trying to be at least relatively deferential to you because I don't want to just be in charge.
No, look. You're the professional. I look to you for guidance.
Excuse me, you're the professional too.
That's not true.
Anytime you put a video out on the internet and make money from it, you're technically a professional.
I know, but you see, I don't know. I have issues calling myself a professional anything. I mean, I literally do not think that I'm a professional anything. I literally...
Neither do I.
I literally don't.
The only thing that is truly professional about me is that I probably pay taxes on my YouTube income, but
a professional taxpayer. Aren't we all professional
Well, I
taxpayers?
mean, you have to. But, like, I feel so super weird whenever I get, like, a sponsored video request and I have to, like, actually pretend I know what I'm doing.
I mean, imposter syndrome, right? Do you still get that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't think I will ever truly escape that. And I think most creators will always just kind of have light or major amounts of imposter syndrome just because it's such a... You know, none of us went to school for this. This is just something that almost everybody in the industry fell into because it was convenient or, you know, just sheer happenstance or any number of, you know, specific reasons. But there are very few people that are like, I'm going to become a professional YouTuber and succeeded.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only ones I can maybe think of that, like, really fit that bill would be Ego Raptor with Game Grumps, just because he was already a professional content creator to begin with, and, like, internet personality, and so just him switching over to YouTube is the closest I can think of to, like, just forging a media empire right from the get-go, whereas everybody else has the story of just kind of, like, grinding their way up the sub-rankings and so on and so forth.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I just hate imposter syndrome, because it's like, the weird thing is that I'm pretty sure just everyone gets it for absolutely everything, but nobody really talks about it, you know? Because, I mean...
I think a lot of people talk about it. I just don't think there's... not a solution, but I don't think anybody's, like, really figured out how to get around it easily.
Yeah. I think you might... Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's totally fair. That's totally fair. Alrighty, red science is rocking and rolling. We got a good ratio. Everything is working fine. We've got 10 red science machines that are outputting red science every 5 seconds. Yeah, that's not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Also, I'm very sorry I wrecked your research queue. You were doing fluid handling, weren't you? I'll start again.
Does not matter.
Okay. So there's nothing that you're specifically beelining for at this moment in time, is there?
Tiberium, kind of. Just because it would be nice to be able to start cracking into that and seeing what I can do. But, oh well. Let's see. I guess this won't be a problem. I had a moment of just like, how are we going to fit everything in here? And it's like, oh, right. We're just going to tear up everything as soon as we got ovens.
Ah, this is looking impressive. This is looking impressive. Stone bricks. I see what's going on. So you're setting out the stone bricks at the moment.
Yeah, because I don't want to use wood for the circuits because getting more wood is it's not that hard.
It's a long process with bio industries for sure. It's
more effort than I immediately want to put right now, especially because I'm not even sure if we have the tech.
That is a great point, actually. Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm gonna ditch these. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna get us onto electric labs as well, or oh no, we've got electric labs. But I'm gonna get more electric labs. That's what I mean to say. Did I recall? Did you get sand production set up somewhere, or did you just
yes
glass?
We
sorry,
have
glass
sand
production.
and we have glass. It's just over. It's over here. There's not much.
Okay.
But I don't think we need much. So just pull from this when you need it.
I don't think we need much either, to be honest.
Are these electric labs or are these? Okay, they are electric stone furnaces. Yeah, so we're not going to have a whole lot of sand coming out of this, but oh well. We've got 4,000 glass sitting around.
I think that's going to be plenty. Yeah, I think that'll be more than enough. There we go. So, I mean, how many labs do you usually like to go for? What's the...
So I actually, what I do is a scaling diamond system,
Uh-huh.
where I have a central entry point lab that I have all of the research being pumped in through.
Yep.
And then I just have inserter arms coming off of that into a series of subsequent labs.
Mm-hmm.
I can...
I'm well familiar. I'm well familiar
Okay.
with what you're chatting about. No, I 100% get you.
Because you don't need to pipe the science into multiple labs. It just has to go into the first one, and the rest will just steal it.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I will happily comply. Okay.
And that one's also pretty scalable, because then you just keep stealing from the first lab.
Yeah.
And extending that further out, so you can just make a bigger and bigger diamond. I'm sure you could do it in a square as well. I just have always done it in a diamond. Actually, why don't you do it in a square now that I'm thinking about it? Because once we start doing productivity beacons, we're going to want them in as tight of a square as possible, or at least not as tight of a square as possible, but...
Square shapes.
Yeah, because the beacons are a square field. And so...
Is it 3x3 that the beacons are? Or is it...
Sort of. It goes up to like 15 by 15 once we get rainbow beacons.
Sorry, what the footprint? What's the footprint of the...
Let's see. Just start with 3x3 here. Let's see. Are you laying the labs down now?
I am indeed. You mean in a square,
Okay.
sort of out like that? Like, and
Yeah.
around the side?
Yeah. Oops. And yeah, you can just have kind of cascading arms coming off of that.
Yeah.
And then all of the empty spaces, we will eventually just fill with beacons, filled with productivity modules. And that means considerably more free science at the cost of electricity and nothing more.
That's good. That's excellent.
So you could probably stop at 25 labs. Heck, I think 25 labs is probably a little much, but
Okay, yeah.
it'd be a nice square.
I
And
have...
then you can have them all coming off of that central lab or something.
I have a slight question.
Okay.
Are there perhaps a lot of biters on the map? Because the game has suddenly started to be a little bit laggy.
Yeah.
You remember how there were like a
Let me go
gruesome
work
number?
on that.
I wonder if it might be possible to expedite
We need
the killing.
turrets.
Yeah, I don't think we have a single bit of military research at all, actually.
We never looked into gun turrets because we didn't need it, because we just were like,
That's great.
we're safe now.
Yeah, that's so good.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a egregious amount of biters outside the door that really want us dead.
And I'm pretty sure that's what's slowing the game down for me. It's hilarious.
So, I would say let's get the military turrets, and then ooh, yokai electric turrets. What are these? T-plasma. Holy crap!
T-plasma?
These look fun.
Dude, let's do it.
So it's gonna take a little bit before we get to them. I just saw that on the list and it's like, oh, that looks enjoyable. So the easiest way to deal with biters wanting to get inside is, once we got the lab set up, why don't you actually take some landfills and some water and go make the tower defense layout of your dreams? Don't open it up yet, but just maze and leave a lot of space for turrets to shoot things. Actually, in retrospect, it's probably not going to help too much, because they're just all either going to die or shoot the turrets from afar, because we got the ranged ones. But make some kind of bottleneck to just shoot things.
What about sniper turrets? How achievable are sniper turrets?
They exist, and they're very achievable.
Are they achievable? Sorry, are they achievable now-ish? Or
we're gonna have to get military tech first, but they're pretty cheap, so they're well within the realm of can do.
Okay.
Here, I'll put us down that path.
Okay, let's go for it.
So I've got 2 military researches, which are very cheap, actually.
Labs are donezo.
Cool.
So we should be able to research everything right now. All right. Fluid handling. I don't think that we're going to be able to do fluid handling unless I craft some blue circuits manually. Some green science manually, which I'll do to get that done. Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Wow.
you're entrusting me a lot with the tower defense strategy. Yeah.
Well, just make it inconvenient for them, and they'll slow down.
Just don't mess it up.
But yeah, you're right. This is becoming problematic.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm feeling it. It's
juicy.
pretty bad.
Isn't it? It's
Yep.
It's molassesy.
Yep. Alright, I have our handcrafting speed up to ridiculous numbers. Tell me if you want me to turn it back down.
I don't mind. It's entirely
Okay.
It's entirely up to you.
Because I'm like, I don't want to go slow on this. It's so much more convenient to just handcraft for the moment.
I'm just crafting a whole bunch of green science, and that's going to get us across the line, which is grand.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay. So lab setup's good. I'm going to grab some landfill now. Mill tech. Cool. This is exciting. I'm excited. This is going to be our first time encountering the bitey boys. Oh, it's chugging hard.
Yep.
Okay.
Science is proceeding pretty quick, so we should be able to.
Oh, well, yeah. Look at that. Look at that speed.
Yep.
Look at that speed.
Looks like they're all collecting out there. Oh, you know what I could do? In the meantime, do we have big power poles? Yeah, we do. I'm gonna string up some basic power around the outside of the base.
Okay. What do I need? What do I need for turrets? Oh, yeah, we don't even have a single turret. Yeah, wow. Okay. We have neglected the military aspect substantially.
Here, I'm dumping 200 green science in your inventory.
That's all good. Thank you. Okay, so military 2. What is that? Grenades, battle droids. Flippin' egg.
Today seems like a day for battle droids, maybe.
Prototype artillery. Battle droid. I'm
Yeah,
interested
so
in
that's
battle droids.
So prototype artillery will fire automatically at enemy buildings within range. The main issue is that they will. Gosh, I just see the horde on the other side. They'll shoot it at buildings within range, but you cannot manually hop in and target things using them.
Okay.
Which realistically, oh my god.
That's probably a lot, is it?
You want to come take a look at this?
Okay, give me a sec.
I don't think we want to open the walls until these guys are dead.
Which was exactly why my suggestion was geared around sniper turrets, as opposed to actually giving them any opening. Because, like, sorry, it'll take me like 2 minutes to walk out there because I'm pretty slow.
No, just use the map. Don't walk to me.
Oh boy.
And that's just part of it. That's just part of it.
Oh my god. No wonder the game is lagging. Look at that. That's obscene.
Yeah. I am very glad we have this moat.
Oh.
Yep.
What?
All right.
What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna try place down a turret. I'm gonna see what happens. I think they're immediately gonna kill it.
Don't yet. We're gonna want backup defenses because some of those guys are the ones that shoot babies.
Oh yeah. We don't wanna. Okay. Okay.
We do not want to open up that can of worms unless we are properly prepared.
Properly prepared.
So you might want to make yourself a gun. That isn't just a pistol.
I do have a dart rifle. I do have a Nerf gun.
I think a Nerf gun's no good.
Okay. I made myself a shotgun. It's fine.
There we go.
I don't believe it. That is obscene. I don't think I've ever seen that many biters. I think that is far and away the most that I've ever seen. That is insane.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't like what I'm seeing.
I mean, I like what I'm seeing. I just don't like feeling the effects of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's a better way of describing what's going on here.